Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Adam J. Pestridge. Welcome to, this is kind of an explanation video for those who are concerned. I recently closed down my Discord server, and there's a few reasons why I did that, and I'll explain everything. Because this video really doesn't really pertain to a lot about my YouTube channel. It's just a place to where people can access it, that's all. And it's mainly to do probably with about 30 people only, you know, but I just, out of those 30, there's only probably about 4 that are actually speaking with me for whatever reason. Like, I don't know, that's up to them. So hopefully this will answer a few questions. Only I say this because there's somebody out there who is telling lies about me constantly. So for me, I want to address those lies. I want to prove them wrong and let people make up their own mind instead of being fed lies, basically. So yeah, this is to address why I felt the need to delete my Discord server, and I'm hoping that this is a cautionary tale for anybody who has a Discord server. If you are the owner of your Discord, choose your moderators very carefully. Because they can so easily, you know, bring it down. And you know, they're not the reason why I shut my server. I closed my server down myself. It wasn't because of any action of anybody else. I did it. I made the conscious decision. Now, in my server, at the time, there was about 700 plus people. And you know, out of those 700 people, there was only about 25 people who were active, engaging every single day in the text channels. There was only about 5 people who were actively posting pictures all the time, you know, and then of course there was only really 2 people who every day said good morning to everybody, and I was one of them 2 people. My ex-girlfriend being the other. And, you know, to be honest, the community I thought was great. You know, I called it the Brotherhood, not trying to be in any sexist way, but I was playing Assassin's Creed at the time I created the the server, so that's why I called it the Brotherhood. And I really wanted it to be like a family. I wanted it to be like a community of caring, you know. So it was very hard to make the decision to delete the server because, well, to be honest, it had become a major ghost town because of the events that I'm gonna unfold. So it was really hard to take, to be honest. And as I say, they had 700 plus members, but 95% of that server was because of the work that I've done in flight simulation. You know, that server was a hosting ground to the files that I gave away for free, to the information I gave away for free, which, to be honest, most other people charge for in this community. I gave it away for free. Probably why I've got so many haters on my channel. But I gave it all away for free, so a lot of people came into the server, you know, took the free stuff, and then never came back. And in all honesty, this server had been going, it's been going for about a year, right? And every 3 to 4 months, we kicked out anybody who hadn't taken a role, who was just that bog standard member, right? Who hadn't bothered to actually engage in the group and continue to want to be in that group. Every 3 or 4 months, we actually kicked them out, sent them a message and went, bye-bye. You know, no hard feelings, but if you've only come for the free shit, then, you know, see you later, Jack. And in all honesty, if I'd have kept every single person, because it's like every 3 to 4 months over the course of a year, I think we had 5. We called it the purge. We had about 5 purges in total. So, and each purge we kicked out between 300 to 400 people, right? So you can imagine, like, there'd be at least 5,000 people in that server had I not kicked anybody out. And that's the community that I grew through the work I did on YouTube here with the help videos for flight simulation. And the hours that I put into helping people on a one-to-one basis. I would stay up for hours until the early hours of the morning because I personally was getting over a devastating relationship breakup, and I was put into like an accommodation which is sorted by the city that I live in, which is Birmingham. You know, it's called a sheltered accommodation, or no, supported accommodation it's called, sorry, where I have a caseworker who helps me move on into my own place. And it's basically, if you haven't got anywhere else to go, they put you here. And this was all in the middle of a lockdown as well, so you know, it was really tough. And do you know what? I'm so glad I had my Discord server, because I made friends, I connected with people, I still had like some sort of vocal human interaction going, even if I didn't have any human interaction in my real life. At least I had it on the online life. I could still reach out and speak to people, and that is so important, talking to people, you know. So yeah, if we hadn't kicked out everybody, there'd be like 5,000 people in there, you know. And that's just because of the people, like I was helping people, like I said, 1-to-1, staying up all night. And I had loads of people thank me. I had a lot of people trying to send me money, trying to give, how much do I need to pay you in order for you to help me? I'm like, dude, I don't want any of your money. Nothing. You don't have to pay me anything. I do this for free. I don't do it for the money or any type of fame or anything. It's like, man, I just do it because I want you to be able to fly in your sim and you not have to stress about it, because I understand frustration, right? And my whole life has been about easing other people's frustrations, because when you're frustrated, you get angry. When you get angry, you do stupid shit. And it's like, if you ease that frustration for somebody, that's one less stupid person in the world, effectively. Or, sorry, one less person doing stupid shit, you know? And so I've always had the mindset of helping people, you know? And that is exactly why I stayed up till 5 a.m, most times, with people, just helping them, just to be a nice guy, basically. And that's who I am, right? And I had been doing that for the last 12 months, okay? And, you know, I doing like keeping my mind busy as well, trying to get over my ex, which was devastating. I did not want that relationship to end. You know, she was my queen. I loved her. I still do. But in all honesty, the lockdown and a lot of other pressures that were happening to do with her own self basically had a mental breakdown, you know, and said, like, you've got to go, dude, like, get out. And I don't blame her. We've already kind of reconciled that, but it was really, really tough times. Everybody was in the same boat around the world. You know, everybody was on a lockdown. It was really hard, uncertainty everywhere. So there's no blame. I don't hate. You know, she did, what she felt she had to do at the time. And we've reconciled that. So it's fine. But it was devastating at the time, you know. And then also to be put in a sheltered accommodation, even worse. But I put my head into my Discord. I played games with friends. I met new people, namely the moderator that I'll be talking about, you know. And it was okay time, like, in terms of rebuilding my mental brain back, you know. And helping people really helped me. That really, really helped me. So maybe it was a bit of a selfish act, because I was getting mental help from helping other people, you know. I was getting better. But yeah. So, and also I put my head into True Sky. You know, Lockheed Martin released P3D version 5.0. And its first initial release had a decent True Sky. Like, I enjoyed the enhanced atmospherics. Nobody else did. It was getting slated on Facebook, and I was going, actually, guys, I think it's pretty good. You know, if you tweak your lighting right, it looks pretty good. And like, everyone was like, it's bollocks, mate. It's crap. It crashes. I was like, well, I don't have any crashes. It works fine on my PC. And then they had a hotfix. Lockheed Martin, you little devils, you did a hotfix, right? And it completely nuked True Sky for me, but it helped everybody else's True Sky. So I put my head, in a bid to get over my ex, into improving that True Sky in my own sim, because I enjoyed it. Now everybody's going, dude, what's this got to do with your Discord server? We're getting there, okay? We're getting there. I put my head into True Sky, and I for like 2 weeks solid of literally sleeping 2 days each night, and that's no joke or exaggeration, came out with a conversion, as it were, that I thought, this is much better. This looks much better, you know. And people in my server who I was screen sharing this stuff with, you know, they were like, oh man, that looks so cool. That looks so good. Yeah. And so I shared the files with them, you know, and when I did a video about it for YouTube, it had a massive response. Like, and so I put the and it was I think it was a live stream I showed it on first, but everybody's like, dude, how did you do that? That looks so amazing. Share me that file, please. And so I did. I put the file in my server, and I said I did an actual sort of like demonstration or showcase video saying, guys, go down and get the file. It's in here. Here's how you put it in and everything. And honestly, about 5,000 people jumped in my server and got that file, right? Honestly, my YouTube channel increased a little bit, right? Not in terms of money, because in all honesty, I don't earn a great deal from YouTube, okay? At the time, I wasn't even earning £20 a month, so I definitely wasn't doing it for the money, guys. I was doing it because YouTube is a massive platform, so you can reach a lot of people at once. That's it. So, and also, you know, if my YouTube in the future blew up to the point where it could support my lifestyle, yeah, man, I'd be up for that, definitely. But it wasn't happening. So, it wasn't the reason why I was doing these videos. So when I realized, oh, a lot of people did like this, you know, in all honesty, I was already refining it still, because it was like, it looks great, it looks better than it did before at least. But do you know what? I kind of feel like I can do better. Now, this was around the sort of November, December time when I hadn't spoken to my ex for like at least 2 or 3 months. Like, no contact, absolutely no contact. Had to block her out of my life in order to get over her, because I love her that much. When somebody doesn't want you in their life and you want to be in their life, you just got to turn around, walk away, and never look back. And eventually the pain goes. So I met a lot of people. A lot of people came into my server because of this True Sky video, and one such person who came in and stayed up literally with me for a week solid, asking to be my moderator straight away. And I was like, dude, I don't just give it away willy-nilly. I've got to trust you. You've got to be like a second skin to me, you know, because moderators have a lot of power in Discord, guys. They could actually delete your server. If they wanted to, they could ruin your server, you know, for an owner. So moderators, like, yeah, the owner can moderate the moderator and sort of say, here's how much power you have, but they can do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, like setting up bots that actually are watching you and tracking you. Now, they can be very devious if they want to. And I had one such person behind the scenes doing exactly this. Now, I didn't know anything about it. It not right. So let's not skip ahead, actually. So, yeah, asking to be moderator, staying up till like 2 in the morning, talking with me, hearing me out, wanting to know more, going, mate, you know, your True Sky looks amazing. I'm helping him with his sim look amazing, and he's like, whoa, this looks so much better now. You know, he's listening to me help hundreds of people each week. He's being supportive in my Discord by chatting to people constantly. He's putting the time and effort in, and I'm like, yeah, man, he seems like a decent dude. And he's basically an aviation geek like me. So, to be honest, it kind of was a no-brainer. And after a week of him asking me to be my moderator, I finally said, okay, and gave him the moderator role. And things were great for at least another 2-3 months before the slippery slope down. So I'm continuing to improve True Sky version 2, version 3. I've reconnected with my ex-girlfriend. Like, she's walked back into my life, and we've kind of like reconnected, not in a romantic way, but, you know, in a hanging out, you know, staying over, you know, the house and hanging out with her and playing games and just loving life again, basically. And it was great for like 2 or 3 months. I even invited her into my server, and everybody loved her, connected with her. I was super cautious because not only is it because she's a woman, which sounds sexist, but at the end of the day, women can be vulnerable when surrounded by a lot of men, you know? So I was super nervous about inviting her into my server. I was also, do you know what? In the whole relationship we were together, I had protected her from my social medias. Like, I hadn't put my status on Facebook as I'm in a relationship until it became a problem in our relationship, and then I did. But I didn't want to do it because I didn't want anybody to be able to get to her. You know, I'm basically protecting her. I didn't want the negativity of any trolls to be attacking my girlfriend because they knew she would be my girlfriend. I didn't want her to be subjected to any negativity. And so I was very super cautious about her entering my server and inviting her into this world, because at the end of the day, she's not an aviation, she's an aviation fan, but she's not a flight simmer, you know? So, and my Discord was flight simming. So I was super cautious. I didn't really have much to worry about because everybody invited her with open arms, got along with her, she got along with everybody, and it really helped her mentally because we were both depressed as fuck by this point, and this is like January, February of this year, and we were both depressed as fuck, and it really helped both of us. And I never wanted her to leave my server because I knew it would be good for her. She got along great with my moderator, she got along great with everybody in the Discord, and we all sometimes stayed up gaming till early hours, and it was great. It was great. Unbeknownst to me, things were happening behind my back though. People's true feelings towards me were not being told to me, probably because I was bringing out this true sky in the community and people were loving it. And so, yeah, let's not let this wave crash and burn. Let's ride it out until it ends. So, honestly, whilst I was making this true sky and vamping it and just doing it because I wanted my sim to look better at the end of the day, but then everybody was loving it. Like when I put it out to the community, that it was really well received, and I was so appreciative of that. And whilst I was doing this, do you know what? There was never a problem between me and my moderator. And as soon as I stopped doing this, bam, things started happening that were a bit of a problem, right? So obviously anybody knows I've got a Twitch channel and I stream my flights on there, and I do have a moderator on there. And so the moderator of my Discord was given, in fact, do you know what? I'll just show you. It might be easier. Full transparency, by the way, I'm about. I don't mind telling anybody everything because I'm all about full transparency. I don't hide things, even if it makes me in a bad light. So in my Discord, you know, I had sort of roles that I wanted my admin and moderators to perform, and to make things clear so there was no, well, I don't remember that, I gave them this document which basically detailed what I expected of them. Okay, and here's the moderator section. It says mods have a higher level of authority within the Discord and have more hands-on presence within the streaming on Twitch and YouTube. Mods are required to attend one stream on YouTube and one on Twitch a week. In the stream, they will interact and keep an eye out for keyboard warriors and anyone trying to abuse the chat. Now, the reason I stated this is because I had a troll who was slandering me at every given turn all over websites, forums, my Facebook, my YouTube, my Twitch, everywhere. And so I needed backup in my stream. And that is exactly why I kind of said, this is, you know, what you have to do if you want to be my moderator. The mods have powers of removal and banning within the streams. This is their primary role, and within Discord, they are a law enforcement group that have powers to remove or kick players at their discretion. They also carry a role of keeping everyone active and promoting the good feel vibe I wish for the server. The primary goals are to upkeep the streams and ensure they are a safe and enjoyable place for viewers to hang out. Their secondary role is to help the admin staff do their job with the cleaning of Discord. There are two types of moderators, one for streaming, now one for Discord. Now, this was an amendment that I made literally about 3 months ago. So that actually didn't exist in my first moderator's document, okay? And this second sentence as well. So these two sentences... Ooh, what did I do there? Weird. These two sentences here did not actually exist in his document. So That's basically it. Now, again, primary goals are dedicating a minimum of 1 day each week for being an active member within the live streams. Now, at this time, I was literally live streaming every single day, Monday to Friday, when I gave him this document. So he could pick and choose whichever day he wanted. There was no pressure for anything. Just moderate the stream, watch out for trolls, keep an engagement going in the chat so people are talking, keep, it does say here, encouraging others to chat in the stream by engaging with them, both YouTube and Twitch. Now mainly it was Twitch, and in all honesty, for the first couple of streams, it's exactly what he did. But then I had to change my streaming schedule because my internet was crapping out. So I went from Monday to Friday every single day. I think I went down to like 3 days a week, and he only had to do 1 day, 1 stream a week. That's it. All the others were, never mind, like, you don't have to do that. And he was in my streams almost every time, but actually doing the role of what it was asked was probably once a week, which is fine because that's all I was really asking. So there was no problems, right? I also stated here, failure to maintain this will result in the demotion of the moderator role. Now, that's my fault because I never enforced this, because I saw him as a friend, and so I should have demoted him months ago for what I knew about what he was doing in my server. But because he was a friend, I just told him point blankly, "Oi dude, please do this, stop doing that." And he went, "Oh, okay, sorry, I forgot, my bad." I brought it up in staff meetings, and I thought, it's up to him to action on this thing now. I've told him how I feel. It's up to him to action on it. But I should have just demoted him, and that would have saved a lot of heartache, I think. There'll be a maximum of 10 moderators to share this role. By the end of my server, I only had 2, to be honest. Also ensuring all bullying and inappropriate conversations are addressed and removed if need be. I prefer a freedom of speech attitude to the server unless someone is clearly being evil for no reason and begins attacking people's opinions. Welcoming new members of the Discord in the general chit chat and encouraging conversations between all the members of the Brotherhood and helping others to engage into roles in order for them to stay. Now, at the end of the day, he never did this once to anybody. And to be honest, I wasn't exactly proactive at welcoming new members. I would welcome new members into the chit chat when they chatted, but for the thousands of people that came into the server, I never atted them all at once and went, "Hi guys, thanks for coming into the server." I waited until they were in the chit chat, then I said hello. And it was the same with my moderator. So but there's nothing really here that is out of the ordinary. This is actually standard moderator stuff. You want your moderators to engage your audience. You want your moderators to look out for dickheads. That's standard moderation stuff. Moderating a stream as well, it's exactly the same as moderating a Discord. Watch out for dickheads and talk with people in the chat. Easy peasy. Every streamer has this within their setup. The secondary roles were maintaining the roles as laid out in the rules section, making sure all the channels are correctly used, cleaning up conversations and image channels, ensuring there are no images in the chat channel, ensuring no links are placed within the chat, people are self-promoting in the correct channels, basically configuring to the rules that I've set out, basically. Generally helping the growth of YouTube and Twitch channels by helping to share and advertise them to more people. Never once did that. Actively contributed to the growth of the channel, being an active member within the server, at least saying something every day or every other day within the chat, encouraging others to chat. Again, these are secondary roles, and look how far down they are. And then helping to prevent server wiper members at given moments. Right now, these things here, they're not exactly strenuous. They're not exactly out of the ordinary for any server or for any person who's asked a moderator to do their job, and for the first 2 months, exactly what was happening, that's exactly what I saw in my Discord. On my Twitch though, on the other hand, was a different story. So he was a great moderator in my Discord, but my Twitch, he was non-existent. Right? He would lurk, which is not what I wanted from my moderators. He would come in, say hi, and have a few chats. And again, this is all evident back if you rewatch any of my streams. You can see it. He would chat for a bit, but then he would lurk, and then he would go away. And even when I had gone down to only streaming on a Tuesday and Thursday, he would set up streams on those days for himself and then never even appear in my streams. And that really upset me, because I had a goal for what I wanted my Twitch channel to achieve. And in order for that to be like, for me to succeed, I needed a moderator to help me do it, which is why I wanted to offer this role to people, for people who really wanted to do it. And when somebody is begging you for a week to make them moderator, and they show and prove that they want to be your moderator, they send you free gifts, you know, through the post. To me, that's like, yeah, he definitely wants to be moderator. And if you want to be someone's moderator, surely you want to do the job that is being asked of you. Like, I can't conceive of anybody who goes, I want to do that job, but then it's like, no, actually, I don't want to do that job when I got the job, and then just not do it. To me, that's weird. If somebody asked me to be moderator, you know, I've actually turned a lot of people down who have asked me to be their moderator, because it's like, I wouldn't have time, dude. I would let you down continually, and that's not fair. So I'm sorry, but I've got to say no. I could never take a moderation job and then just not perform it, or not fulfill it to what their expectations are. And again, 2 streams a week, 4 hours a stream, that's not a massive commitment, you know, not a massive commitment at all. So it started to upset me when my moderator was continually letting me down on my streams, you know, but because I saw him as a friend and I didn't want to hurt his feelings, you know, I would address it in the staff meetings, you know, and I have told him in private, you know, like, but at the end of the day, I was also getting, like, he was telling me I'm busy in my personal life, I'm setting up a garage, I've got a lot going on. And it's like, I don't want to upset him by saying, listen, dude, you're letting me down. You wanted to do this, do it, or don't do it, and I'll give it to somebody who really will perform it. I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want to upset him. So it's like, I just addressed it in the staff meetings. And then again, it's up to him. It's his responsibility to change or his behavior, which he never did. He never like was a proper moderator. In fact, my ex-girlfriend would like be in my streams while she was working her job and actually performed, like, she would be in that chat exactly how I'd want my moderators to do. Even another friend of mine, right, who I eventually gave the moderator role to, he also was doing it as a viewer as well, easily. 2 people, one working, one just hanging out and chilling, was being like a moderator in my stream when my moderator wasn't. And that super, like, upset me, you know, because I felt that this moderator dude was a friend. Okay, so anyway, I worked around him at the end of the day. I was like, you know what, I'll bring in, you know, my other mate who can be moderator if he wants to be. I'll ask him, see what he says. He hasn't got to change his behavior because he's already doing it. That's what he did anyway for months on end. So it was never a problem, you know. So I was like, yeah, okay. That's exactly what he did. He accepted. I worked around the issue rather than creating one. And as soon as I gave him the moderator role, he showed up to the stream, but he stopped doing the way he was doing it before. He wasn't jumping in the voice channel with me. He wasn't actively in the chat telling me about issues. He would show up, say hi, and then he would go off and do a flight with my other moderator. And I'm like, huh? Like 2 days a week, 4 hours. Like, why arrange to do a group flight or not a group flight, it was just the 2 of them. Why arrange to do a flight together on the day that the person who you've said you're going to moderate for is like, you've got expectations to meet there. Like, there's so many hours in the day that could be worked around. Now, again, this might not be a major thing to people. People might be going, dude, grow the fuck up, mate. People can do what they want. You ain't paying these people. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you're right. This is voluntary stuff. We're all doing this voluntary, our hobby, you know? But at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to let a friend down. I wouldn't want to disappoint a friend. So I would be super upset myself if I thought that I was, you know, letting people down. And for 2 streams straight, he never performed his moderator role. As soon as I gave him the role, that's it. He stopped doing it. I'm like, what's going on? And at the same time, in my server, people were less engaging with me, right? Like almost turning off me. And I'm like, what's going on? And it started to really upset me. And I was having issues with my ex-girlfriend. We were arguing and it was getting really upsetting, you know? And I was getting lower and lower into a depression, to be honest, because the people that had surrounded me were turning, like, slowly inching away from me, you know, and not engaging fully in conversations with me. And like when we were in vocal channels, I was having microphone issues, which I didn't realize at the time, but people just weren't responding to questions I asked. They were over talking me, and I just felt so wanted in voice sessions with games, because I was like, dude, I've just asked you a question, you've ignored me, you know. And I became super sensitive. I was getting really upset, and at the end of the day, my microphone was glitching, my internet shit. And most likely, those were the reasons why people weren't responding back to me, because they simply hadn't heard me. Now, I did not know this at the time, you know? So I was just getting lower and lower into a depression, which nobody around me, close to me, ever picked up on. Like, my ex-girlfriend must have known, like, surely must have seen a difference in how I was reacting, you know? But I mean, I don't remember. I remember her saying, literally, like a couple of days before I snapped, which I did. I broke down on stream and just snapped. And she did say to me, like, you need to take a break. Maybe you need to step away. I think my moderator as well, actually, had even said to me, you know, with everything that's going on with you, dude, like, just have a break and just chill, mate. I think like a month before that, he might have said that to me. But, like, nobody was actually saying, Adam, like, are you okay? What's going on? Like, nobody was coming to me with saying that. And maybe that was me expecting somebody to do that. I don't know. But I just felt like nobody cared at the end of the day. That's how I felt, because I was in a depression. I didn't recognize either that I was in a depression until after I got help. And so, yeah. It was really upsetting for me. So, it was like, in one hand, my moderator in my Discord, brilliant, creating channels. Like, he created the flight ops chat section. He created a PC repair shop, as it were. And I wanted my moderators to have their own section. My admin dude, he had his own little fighting fantasy section, and it was their section to moderate. Like, I didn't go in and sort anything out in those areas. They created the rules. It was like a server within a server. But it was only those small sections. The rest of the server I'd created myself. And like 80% of that was already there before even my moderator arrived. But yeah, I was sinking lower and lower into a depression. Plus the fact that, you know, I had loads of people watching on my streams, like 10, like I say loads, 10, you know, which for me was loads, or 15 or 20, but not many chit-chatters. Like, they were lurkers, which is fine and supportive. And I've done that myself, supported people lurking in their channel. It helps boost the numbers. But I was looking for engagement. I wanted a conversation. And when my moderator wasn't turning up to the voice sessions anymore, like coming into the flight deck, I was it, man. I was just like, man, this is super depressing. Everyone's turning away from me. And I had no explanation why, of course. And when you're in a depression, you see things differently. You see people differently. You react differently. You become much more sensitive to the little tiniest things. You know, like, I would go in my server and say, good morning, everyone. Here's what I'm doing today. How is everyone? And then instead of actually somebody responding to that, they would just come in going, good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? This is what I'm doing today. And da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, what, you're just going to ignore somebody? Like, what the fuck? You know? And, like, my ex-girlfriend purple-hearted everything, right? So, like, at least I had some response. But when my moderator came into the server and he went, good morning, everyone, and literally just said that, good morning, everyone, everybody responded back and went, hey, how's it going, dude? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, why am I getting, like, left out here? Like, it super upset me. Now, I did not know this at the time, but he was having private conversations with people. My ex-girlfriend, namely, gave her advice, right? He even gave me advice against my ex-girlfriend, which I obviously didn't take, because I'm like, dude, no, I'm not kicking her out the server. I'm not banning her, you know? Yeah, we have arguments. She's upset me, but I'm not banning her because this is good for her to be in here. So I'm not going to do that. That's like dick move. So I know he was talking to a lot of people behind the scenes, you know, but like what was said, I have no idea, obviously, except for those people that have come to me instead, what was said. You know, I've had like 5 people who've come to me and sort of say, yeah, this is the sort of stuff that's going on behind your back, mate. And I don't agree with it. But other than that, it's like, I was just like, honestly, getting more depressed and devastated, to be honest. So I, on stream, right, which I had to, remove the stream, I had a mental breakdown when my moderators, I was asking them questions, or my moderator, sorry, my one moderator, I was asking him a question, never responded because he'd gone off, flew off with me other moderator. My ex-girlfriend was having a go at me on Messenger privately, but then in the chat of the actual stream, which, do you know what, I might republish so people can actually see this, but was being very positive and very happy, but then on Messenger was actually having a go at me continually and getting very aggressive with me, because that's what used to happen. By the way, when I was streaming, I would get cheeky messages on Messenger from my ex, and then she would chat in the text or on the thing, right? And so yeah, basically I was like, do you know what, ex-girlfriend, thank you so much for doing the, like, almost being a moderator in my stream, because my other moderator isn't here, he's not doing it, and I want to thank you for doing it because I know you're working right now and you really haven't got time to do what you're doing, but I want to thank you for doing that. And she had a go at me. She just like stopped mentioning I'm at work and just had a go, and I snapped. I went, you know what, I'm fucking sick and tired of this. People are taking the piss out of me right, left and centre. You're having a go at me for thanking you for doing a nice thing, and you're having a go at me for it, and it's not on, and I'm sick and tired of it. And, my two moderators taking the piss out of me, and I literally just snapped, guys, literally broke down and went AWOL, right? Shut the stream down, and just, it was, oh my gosh. And you know what? As soon as I'd shut the stream down, I'd realised I'd just been majorly out of line, I had literally snapped. I literally had a mental breakdown, basically. And you know what? When people have a mental breakdown, because my ex-girlfriend had one last year when she kicked me out, you're meant to support them. You're meant to be supportive to somebody who's having a mental breakdown, and you're meant to take steps to show that and reassure them that you care about them, to give them reassurance, because when somebody's having a mental breakdown, they need reassurance. They don't need people having further go at them, going, dude, what, you threw me under the bus, mate. What the hell? And get angry with them instead, because they're actually having problems in their life. Do you know what I mean? And instead of kicking them while they're down, you should be helping them lift them back up. That's what true friends do, contacting me. Whereas my moderator, my first moderator, just stopped all contact, did not contact me at all, right? And I was like, do you know what, I need a break. And in all honesty, I was actually being booked in to see a counsellor for therapy as well. So I was like, I'm going away, I need to sort my head out. I'd arranged with my ex-wife to babysit her dog while she took the kids away for a week. And it's like, I was see a counsellor, have a therapist, I come home and I go straight away to the ex-wife's and babysit the dog. And it's like, I need to explain to the three people who I've just had a go at in my stream why this has happened, because I'm in a depression, I need to explain that it's not them, but there are elements of what they were doing which has led me to be depressed. So I put the feelers out to the four people, my admin person, my two moderators and my ex-girlfriend, and said, listen, I need to speak with you vocally ASAP. My admin came straight back to me and was like, yep, no worries. You do what you got to do to heal, and I totally understand what you're going through, and no worries. I'm here for you. Super reassured. My ex-girlfriend straight away came back, had a go at me because she wanted to do the washing up instead while she was talking. I'm like, I can't hear what you're saying, and then was having a go at me, and I'm like, all right, I need to tell you this, please. Can you just stop and let me tell you, Anyway, she stopped. So I told her about the stream, told her about what I was been going through. Didn't tell her about that I was going away though, because I didn't actually felt she cared enough for her to need to know that information. So left that alone. Then spoke to my other moderator and said, like, XYZ, I'm very sorry. I did not mean to say all that. You do mean a lot to me, right? I actually broke down crying because I was trying to tell him about the therapist, but I couldn't because I was ashamed. And, yeah. I basically was saying, yeah, you know, there are elements of things that you're doing that have upset me, but I need to sort myself out, and I need to step away, and I need to go away for a bit and then come back stronger. And he was super supportive as well. Like, he wasn't reassured. He didn't reassure me anything. That's not the type of person he is. But he was like, I understand. Okay. I don't hold grudges, so don't worry about it. But that was it. There was no reassurance like I had from my other admin team. My other moderator never came back to me, never gave me the time of day from this point on. So I guess I bent his nose out of shape a little bit. Sorry. So, but at the end of the day, he was having things going on in his life as well, right? He, which I mean, I'm not going to divulge, but he had things happening in his personal life as well, which I was messaging him, you know, in the hopes to get, you know, resolve things. And he was ignoring my messages at first. And then when he did come back to me, it was too late. I'd already gone, you know. And in fact, there was one time when I spoke to him and said, listen, I really need to speak to you for like 5, 10, 15 minutes. Please, you know. And he was like, I'm just having me dinner now. I'll be 30 minutes and then we'll sort this out. And I'm like, okay. So I literally sat at my PC waiting. I thought 30 minutes, man, that's no worries. 6 hours later, I was still waiting. And I'm like, oh, I'm going tomorrow. I need to speak with him before I go. And I go into my private messages of my Discord, right? I didn't go into my server. I just went to my private messages. And I contacted my ex-girlfriend and kind of explained how I felt about her. That I love her, and you know, but it's like time is running out for me. You know, I didn't tell her where I was going because I didn't think she needed to know that information. I just wanted her to know how I felt and why I was feeling the way I was feeling the past 2 weeks. I then gave the information to my admin to tell my other moderator because I saw him actually in my Discord doing a flight. Instead of coming back to me like he said he was, he went off to do a flight. And I'm like, he's totally turned his back on me. He just doesn't give a shit, you know. Now, at the same time, as I said, he had some personal issues, which I won't divulge, but he had some personal issues, and that was most likely on his mind. But at the same time, for somebody who's just hit a depression, who you call a friend, surely 5 minutes of a vocal conversation so he can, A, apologize to you for the outburst and explain the outburst to say, I'm actually seeking help for depression, and to explain, like, and make him understand why it happened rather than just let it fester, which he did not show an interest in, you know, wanting to resolve. And I would know why when I came back. So I went away. A lot happened. I won't get into it. I came back into my server. 3 people out of like 600 welcomed me back. My moderator did not say one thing, you know, to me at all in the sort of server. Did not acknowledge my return. Completely shunned me, and was shunning me while I was away. I had this video go out on YouTube. You guys will probably remember it. It was about how to update your, you know, P3D to 5.2 because, you know, it was coming out in a few weeks by the sounds of it. I thought it was about a month or so, but it turned out to be a couple of weeks. And I wanted people to be able to update it easily when it did come out. So I made this video, plus I hadn't had it done on my channel anyway. So I'd made this video, and all my videos, except for this one, by the way, all my videos premiere. There's a premiere date on my videos for like a week ahead at least. So this is no exception. So it was premiered for like a week ahead, and people were asking about it in my Discord, and I told my moderator exactly what the video is. It's just to teach you how to update your P3D. It applies to any version. It makes no difference. It's not really 5.2 specific, but the reason I gave it the 5.2 name is because that is the next version coming out, and I wanted the video to be current. That is all. Not to clickbait people or to mislead people, but to help people, because that's all my channel and server has been devoted to, helping other people. So I told my moderator, somebody in my server actually asked, and because I wasn't in my server at this time, I'd completely gone away from it, wasn't entering it at all. he actually told them, yeah, it's just to teach you how to update your P3D. No problem. Now people are beginning to put comments on this video, real trolly negative comments, and it kind of blew up on social media and Facebook as well in certain groups because of an old troll that was following me, you know, that bloody wanker. And so instead of defending me, this moderator, like, never once saw him defend this, although he says he did, but I'm conveniently banned from these groups that he only you know, put these comments in, so I didn't see anything. I mean, you guys will probably know if you saw anything, you know. But in my own server, somebody asked me, hey, what's that video? Or somebody, you know, inquired, what's that video about? And he went, I don't know. You'll have to ask Adam when he returns. Like, excuse me, you do know, mate. You even told somebody 2 days ago. Why are you shading me in my own Discord? What the fuck? It's like, what, while he's away, let's just fuck him over and stab him in the back? Like, seriously. Also, you know, when I came back, I found out he wasn't actually moderating that well. Links were being dropped in the general chit chat, which wasn't allowed. You know, things were happening in other channels, links and whatnot, that weren't being addressed. And I'm like, honestly, it's like, he's just literally abandoned any idea of help now. And do you know what? There was one thing in my server that he told me about on Discord that you can use set a status at called the invisible mode. Now, when he told me what it did, I was like, okay, so you can be online but not show us online and still have interactive, do anything. I'm like, that's actually a bit weird, because you could troll somebody very easily and they not know it. Somebody could be monitoring everything you say and you would never know it. I'm like, that's a little bit creepy for me. Like, I don't want people using this in my server. So I actually made it a rule. And now this is a feature Discord gives to every single person, gives everybody the choice effectively. But at the end of the day, a server is owned or created by a single individual account. And if they've set the rule in that server that the invisible mode is illegal and is a kickable and bannable offense if caught using it, that is up to the owner of that server. And my moderator, when I first announced this and I first discussed this with him, never gave me his opinion on it. Never said, well, actually, this is what I think, dude. Just went, well, this is your server. Obviously, I'm going to follow whatever you say. That's all he said to me, right? But actually, secretly, he uses it. He actively uses it himself. He thinks it's a given right that everybody should use. That's fair enough. That's an opinion. I appreciate and respect other people's opinions. But I find it creepy. I find it that you can deceive people with it. I find it can be used for negativity. So remove it, and then it's not a problem. So, but you know what? He constantly used it. I caught him like 3 or 4 times using it, and actually said to him, can you stop using invisible mode, please? And he went, oh, sorry, mate, my bad, right? I mean, this isn't very supportive stuff, is it, really? But in all honesty, I'm going to say, for starters, right, the moderator in question that I'm sort of ranting about here, and the reason I'm making this video is, again, to address why I shut down my server and why I feel the need to defend my name, because he is putting it everywhere as lies and in a negative light, trying to paint himself into a better picture. And this is why I feel the need to do this, okay? Had no intention of doing this, okay? Until he started lying to his own community. He is a very nice guy. He is a likable guy, you know, which is why I enjoyed hanging out with him, which is why I called him a friend. Everybody, or the core group of my server, like 25, 30 people, all enjoy him. And lately, all seem to respond to him more so than me. Because he's a likable guy. He's a nice guy. He's an aviation geek, and he's very enthusiastic in creating channels in my Discord. You know, in creating aviation, bringing bots for, you know, this and that. So, yeah. An all-round decent dude, because offering you advice when you're down, you know. But at the end of the day, his true feelings towards me, he thought I was a twat, right? Secretly. And this is what he messaged me on Messenger. So I'm happy to show these messages to anybody who wants to see them. But he sent me a message saying, you're basically a twat. You know, you don't even know how to fly a plane, so you shouldn't even be streaming it. And you know, I've been nothing but I'm trying to, you know, do this for you, and just completely having a go at me, like, and to be honest, showing his true colors to me, you know. Now I've been upset in the past, and I've had a go at somebody, but I've apologized because I know I've been in the wrong when I've done that. So whenever I have a go at somebody and I'm in the wrong, I will admit to it and own up to it, right? And there was one such time which we were going to address in a minute, because he was shading me in his own server and lying to his people as well, and not giving the full account of what happened, and it just made me look like a monster, when in actual fact there's a little bit more to that story. So when I came back after my as I say, I went to counseling to get, you know, physically and mentally recover. Guys, the day before I went to see my therapist, right, my health was in the shitter. I had chest pains, stomach pains. I nearly phoned the ambulance to go to hospital because I was that weak, because I hadn't eaten in days, right? I've lost so much weight since I started, like, this year out. Honestly, I was properly ill and depressed. And I felt, in my defense, that people, instead of showing compassion and showing reassurance, were actually annoyed because I had upset them. And actually turned, like, offended to the point of, you know, blaming me. Now, again, if somebody's having a nervous breakdown, you support them. You don't turn your back on them. I've never turned my back on my ex-girlfriend, ever. And I never will, because I love her. Every time me and her have a massive argument, or she has an emotional breakdown, she turns her back on me. She also, you know what? I'm not going to get into this. It's not about her. Anyway, I come back to find out, actually, my moderator has been doing a little bit more things than I realized. And whilst I was away, somebody was sending me an image to show that he was still using the invisible mode whilst conversing and helping people in my Discord. So it was like, right. This invisible mode thing really upset me, and I'm like, it's a bannable offense in my Discord. It's in the rules. I'm sorry. It's creepy. Even my ex-girlfriend, you know, agreed with me, you know. In fact, my ex-girlfriend, I will actually say this, because both my moderator and my ex-girlfriend both accused me of the same thing, which was, dude, you've been faking it. You were faking it. You never went to see a therapist. You were in your Discord, you know, in the invisible mode yourself. In fact, maybe I should just bring up the actual message and read it out word for word, because that way I'm not paraphrasing anything. So, where is he? There he is. Okay. Just so I don't... So he sent me a message, by the way, on Messenger. Very long, very attacking, very negative, right? And basically accused me of lying to everybody. So, I mean, at the end of the day, my moderator was jealous of me. He told me this himself. He was jealous because, you know, everybody was there because I had helped them, or they were there because of me and not him, and he wanted his own server. Or he wanted what I had, sorry, is what he said. He didn't say he wanted his own server. He said, I wanted what you've got. They're all here for you, and I'm dead jealous of that. So I have a feeling the reason everything was happening was because, again, jealousy, really. Right. Maybe I should just read out this whole message, because honestly, there's so much he sent me. I'm trying to bloody... I thought it was towards the end. Yeah, here we go. Right. This is what I got accused of, right? Right, so this is what he said. You said you were going away, and yet you lurked in both my stream and your ex-girlfriend's stream. Well, actually, I didn't lurk in either stream, you know? I actually watched them after they were, you know, live, because I didn't want them to see me, you know, lurking in their stream. I was watching other friends. There were other friends of the community that were streaming, and I was lurking in their stream, and I told them actually that I wasn't going to comment or say anything in the stream because I'm personally not in a good place. So I you know, or I just watch, because that for me is also supportive, is like showing to be a number. Anyway, they said, and yet lurked in there in your girlfriend's stream. You've been posting in your Discord and not even replying to those who wished you well in general chit chat because I did it privately. You've been posting so much shit to Facebook over the last week or two. Basically, I put the post about the 5.2 video and the trolls that were attacking me. That's it. Also, this going away thing, well, I call bullshit. More likely, you probably went to see your kids and were just looking for a rise or response from people. And that's what he sent me. My ex-girlfriend also said pretty much the same thing. Accused me of not going away, of lurking in my Discord, and pretty much along the same lines as what he said. So I'm like, fucking hell, honestly, these guys are mental. Seriously, I've been to hell and back, and instead of getting the support, I'm getting attacked. Now, anybody who doesn't know, by the way, if you leave Discord and don't go into your server and people start talking or interacting, you get notified. You get notifications, and they only clear, these notifications only clear when you go in and you hit on the channel. So if I went into my general chit chat and clicked on it, it would say, you've got so many unread messages. And unless I was keeping up to date with the conversations, those notifications don't clear. Now, when I came back off my my break, I took a screenshot of my my Discord because I knew it would be under scrutiny, and I had 387 notifications because I hadn't entered my server. I hadn't gone and looked in my channel for like 2 weeks, and that's how many notifications I had for over 2 weeks because I hadn't been in my server, because I'd been seeing a therapist. I'd been having meditational teachings to help me bring me back to normal, basically. And then I'd gone to my my ex-wife's and babysat the dog, and then got to spend a couple of days with my kids. And then I came back, and I came back to people having a go at me, like my ex-girlfriend and my moderator, accusing me of lying, deceiving, instead of going, welcome back, how great it is to see you, what's been going on. My moderator has never once asked me, how am I doing, since I said what I said on the stream. He never once has shown an interest in my care since I've been on. Loads of other people have. I haven't really ever fully said this to anybody, by the way. I've never really fully explained anything to anybody, So maybe it was a shock when I left my server and people were like, did I just get kicked out of his server? What the hell? So that's why this video exists, to cut through all the bullshit, guys. Now, like I said, while I was away, I found out my moderator was doing other things, and the name said that he updated his own roles on the 20th of May for air traffic controller, flight dispatcher, trainee cadet, and senior first officer. Now, these are roles that you'll receive by the bot totally automatically when you achieve the desired level in Discord. You level up because you're interactive, and when you achieve that role, you will be given it to by a bot. Now, at the time, my moderator was on level 29, and this air traffic controller is level 40. This is level 50, 60, and 70. So these are way above what he deserves or has earned, and he assigned these himself, right? And here it is. Here is the actual audit log showing him do this. And I'm like, wow, man, that's a bit of abuse of power, isn't it? Like, it's not a major thing, is it really, at the end of the day? Assigning yourself some roles, but to be honest, abusing your power in order to stay at the top of the leaderboard as well. So I addressed it. I addressed this, right? Plus, also at the same time, he said that he couldn't delete anything in channels, and here it says deleted one message. And this is the day he said, and he said after this time here, he said that he couldn't delete in the channel. And I'm like, huh? Like, what? Why would you lie? Why would you delete a message and then say to the staff, I can't delete messages? Like, why would you do that? I don't get that. Anyway, here is the recording. Another thing I want to do is here is the recording of me confronting him. For me, I've never wanted a Discord with people here, flight dispatcher, here we go, to help them level up as well, basically, in the leaderboard. I mean, don't forget, we still get that leveling up thing given to us, don't we? Like the owner, the admin, the moderators, the bot still levels us up as well as everyone else. Which actually, that reminds me, one thing stood out to me. Hopefully, Ben, you can clear this up. You're on level 29.
Oh yeah.
But you've got 4 roles that are assigned to you above level 29. It's the bot that sort of auto assigns these to us, but I don't know why you've got 4 roles above level 29 assigned to you.
What are those roles?
I think, let me check. I'll just right click in there. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to block these out because he's got to take responsibility for his own actions. It is trainee cadet, flight dispatcher, air traffic controller. They're all above level 30.
I hit level 29 and it pinged me to say that I'd hit level 29, so I don't know if it hit level 29. It had a bit of a meltdown and popped them rolls on, but I have no idea.
So trainee cadet is level 60, flight dispatcher is level 40.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah. I don't know.
That's what he said. I don't know. I have no idea, when in actual fact he gave himself those roles. I remember if I would self-assign myself roles. So he lied to me point blankly in front of my other moderator and my other admin. He lied to me, and everybody, by the way, was fully aware of this recording. There was nothing sneaky going on. So I just and he'd lied about this, about deleting the message as well. I don't know why he's now lying to me continually, right? But you know what? He's been lying the entire time. I have some 3D printed throttles that he gave me, right? He sent them to me, and he's been using this as a way to prove that he's a nice guy. He gave these to me as a test ground because he wanted me to advertise these on my stream so people would buy these from him. That's the kind of guy he is. He is out for himself. Okay? He's been lying to me because he thinks I'm an actual CUNT and that I shouldn't actually, be flying on stream because I don't know how to fly these planes. He has been turning people in my own server against me, which I have since found out, especially with my ex-girlfriend, by feeding her advice that has turned her against me totally. And why? Because she is infatuated with him. That's why. I have been completely dropped like a rock from her life. She is not even speaking to me, and I have done nothing but support her, and I have done nothing but be there for her, even when she's arguing with me, even when she's venting on me and I'm getting upset and obviously trying to defend myself. But at the end of the day, I don't do that anymore, because you should never argue with somebody who is unreasonable, because they see it so differently. You will never ever be able to, not win, but you'll never resolve, So just don't argue with unreasonable people. Just walk away. Let them calm down, become reasonable, then talk about it. But this dude here has been lying to people around me, people who I thought were my friends. In fact, there was somebody in my server, I'm not going to mention names, but this is the type of guy my moderator is. He basically outed someone's sexuality to me in private. In my server, like I said, sent me a picture to prove, circled it and went, here you go, mate, look at that. I went, okay. And he went, there you go. And I'm like, you've just basically outed this person. Oh my God. Like, that is so shitty to do that, Anyway, liars can stick together. At the end of the day, there's a few people from his server who have contacted me privately and who have said, this, like, how are you? What's your version of it? And I've never fully explained everything. I've said to what's happening to me, because currently I'm about to be made homeless, because where I live, right, it's supported or sheltered accommodation, and evidently my rent hasn't been being paid for me, which is paid by the council on my behalf because of my situation. I'm still on furlough, and yet they're about to evict me. So I'm facing the streets, okay? And I've had that hanging over my head for the last 2-3 weeks. So every day I'm living like on the edge. Plus the fact that I had to ban somebody who I thought was a friend, you know? When I confronted him in the recording, and the recording does go on, and when I confronted him about these things, instead of addressing them, instead of talking about them, he decided instead to try and paint himself in a positive light by saying about all the good things he'd done. I went, listen, mate, we're not here for that. Please address, have you got anything to say about what I've accused you of, I suppose, you know, of what has been stated? He didn't say anything. So I removed his moderator role and I banned him from my channel. And I thought, no, I'm protecting my community. There is no way I'm allowing this snake to infest my community. Now, it turns out I've just since learned, because he's actually told me himself through messages, is that when I had that nervous breakdown on stream, just prior to that, both my moderators, the two that were offline together, we're actually copy and pasting my server and creating a new one, right? And this is long before I had like any reason to ban him. And when I broke down on stream and started, you know, venting, because obviously I had a mental breakdown, they decided to put, you know, turn it up a gear and actually went over, and that's when they fully created the server. That when I did finally come back and discovered the things that I discovered and banned him, that they then took action and invited everybody over and say la vie, basically. And my ex-girlfriend knew about this and was literally like watching as they moved my stuff over. It was like literally somebody stealing something in the night, you know. I honestly, I just could not believe what he just told me. Now again, when I have a friend and if they have a mental breakdown like my ex-partner did last year, I don't go and steal their stuff and then just kick them while they're down. Me as a friend would help and support them. Would try and find out why they're hurting, why they're doing what they're doing, and try and help them to resolve themselves and support them with care and reassurance. Not just go, right, grab that, mate, grab that, everybody just grab it quick and let's go. Like, that is totally a shit thing to do, man. So, kicked him out. Unbeknownst to me, he had privately messaged nearly the core 25-30 people in my group, and he had basically cloned my channel, copied and pasted with my ex-girlfriend, which I found out because she told me in so many words, you know, because he made this server after I banned him, and the rules section, and I've seen this server, are literally a copy and paste job from my original server, right? He'd literally copied the format, everything, the way that I'd set my server up in terms of roles, in terms of levels, the words, he'd copied everything. Obviously, he'd brought over his own channels for the Flight Ops Center that he'd created. He also created a pub location in my server, which could only be seen by a select member of people, and one specific member was not allowed to see it because he didn't like him. He actually like called names behind his back, but then spoke to him in person, you know, but made it very clear to this little core group of people that he did not like this kid, you know. And at the end of the day, the kid's just passionate. That's it, you know. So I was always uncomfortable about that Garrison pub thing, you know, but I was the one who invited the people in because I'm the owner of the server. But it was his idea, because that's the type of person he is. He likes private groups. He likes conversations in secret. He is not upfront and honest, and he lies. And he's been lying to his community because, do you know what? People have sent me things. I'm not mentioning names, and I've had multiple people send this to me, so I'm not throwing any one person under a bus or anything, but he shaded me completely and lied to his community, and I'm here to address that, because at the end of the day, it's not right. If you're lying to somebody and they're believing you, then shame on you. You've got to be held responsible. So this is basically what he said to his community about a week after. It says here the date is the 14th, so this was 4 days ago, right? Which I closed my server down, I think it was on the weekend, like Friday, Saturday, I think, of last week. So my server's been dead a week. Literally 4 days later, maybe 3 days later, he created his own server. And at the end of the day, there's only 3 ways he could have made this server, because it literally is a carbon copy of my server. He either made a fake account and came into my server and then copied and pasted all the information across. Deceitful. Or secondly, he had already copied and pasted everything prior to me banning him, and he had the server on standby. Why? Deceitful. Or thirdly, which I think is what happened because of what my ex-girlfriend told me, is that somebody helped him, like somebody fed him this information, copied it to him in private message. So the actual truth of it, I've had a conversation with this moderator, and he has actually explained the sort of timeline of events that have happened. So what actually happened is that him and my other moderator, the other moderator had a server that is just lying dormant since 2016, and they basically put this together, utilized that server together long before I had my sort of mental breakdown on stream, it seems, because the timeline of other things he talks about with his girlfriend, it was the end of May when they started building the server in terms of putting the channels together, laying it all out. And it wasn't until my mental breakdown on stream, where I just broke down completely and had a go at people, that they then decided to kick it up a gear and work on it together, copying and pasting the information across from my server, and to build theirs. And like I've said, I've had people come to me and go, dude, it's just like it's your server, because everything's like almost the same. And I just total shock. And then once they had built this, before again I had banned him, from what the text says, they then invited my ex-girlfriend to be moderator. And do you know what? I always wanted my ex-girlfriend as moderator in mind, but she said, I haven't got an interest in being a moderator. I just prefer, to not do it. And yet she happily agreed and accepted and went on to be their moderator before they even started inviting people over, it seems, from what his text tells me. Again, here, I'll show it you on the screen here. You can see it here. So, of course, the big question is if they were building this server before I even banned my moderator, what would they have done if I hadn't have banned my moderator? Would they have just... Why are you making a clone, pretty much, of someone's server? For what purpose? Because my server is literally what their server, has become now. So why build a second version of it? Like, okay, so you're the owner yourself. I get that. But you're already the moderator of that type of server. What is the benefit to having, that server again, which it already exists and you're a moderator of? And I'm guessing it's so he's in control. He is the owner. And so therefore, if anything does happen, he's always got a backup ready to go. And this is what I mean, how deceitful and creepy it is like having a backup ready to go, in case whatever, like. And then obviously, I found out what he's doing behind my back, and banned him. And my other moderator, who was in cahoots with him, seemed absolutely like astonished, obviously, at what I was doing, shocked, sorry, at what had happened. And I told him how he'd stabbed him in the back. And you know what? Recently, he's just attacked me, saying I'm the liar and I'm the one who sent the other moderator the picture. And I'm like, are you having a laugh? So obviously, my other moderator's lying to him. And it's like, I mean, I honestly, these 3 people, like, and my ex-girlfriend, I really don't understand why she is doing what she is doing against me. I've known my ex-girlfriend for 3.5 years. We were going to marry. We were going to live together and grow old, right? We loved each other until she had that episode and, like, we split up and we reconnected. But she's only known my moderator for 3 months. So, do you know what I mean? Total stab in the back by both of them, I feel. And my ex-girlfriend won't even speak to me on the phone. Won't even converse nicely to me in messages. And I don't mind saying that, because that is really nasty to do that to somebody who's only done nothing but support you and try and help you your entire relationship. But you've stabbed him in the back every time, I'm probably going to get thrown under the bus into his community for making this video, by the way. So he says here, well, I guess everyone will ask now, not that I wanted to do this publicly like Adam did. Whoa, sorry, what? I haven't publicly shamed you until now, okay? Because that's not me. He said I did it in his server, but I never mentioned like any names. I never said like in fact I never addressed the fact that I banned him in my server. I just said that I'd removed somebody who was being very snaky and lying in my server. I never addressed that I'd banned him specifically, or do you know what I mean? So, but I guess it's necessary to stop people possibly thinking different of me and to clear the air. Yeah. Okay, mate. I feel I owe it to you all to explain. Here we go. I was accused of sabotaging his Discord, bad-mouthing him to people behind his back, and breaking his Discord rules. Yeah, pretty much, really. Even though, as a moderator... Now, this is it. This is where he, instead of actually addressing those things that I've said, again tries to paint himself in a better light. This is what guilty people do, by the way. Instead of addressing the truth, because they can't, because they know they've done wrong, they try to deflect with what they have done is good, and try to build up their character of being like true and honest, where in actual fact it's quite different. Even though as a moderator I was enforcing all his rules constantly. Actually, he wasn't, because he goes on to say that he didn't later on in this message. Constantly made to feel like my role as a moderator wasn't performed well enough, and that every second comment was a poor one. In one hand, it was my moderators really helped me, and in the next, it was my moderators don't even do anything, and other people do more than them. So what he means to say is that in my Discord, my moderator is good and does the job and is very, you know, enthusiastic to do that. In my stream, he doesn't do that job. So yes, you're absolutely right in saying that, but the way you've constructed that sentence, Mr. Moderator or ex-moderator, is to make it actually sound like I'm slagging you off in one hand and praising you in the next, when in actual fact, like, I'm actually stating that you're letting me down on my streams by not performing the role, and actually saying that you're a good moderator for my Discord. So you're twisting my words there, Mr. Moderator. These comments were mostly verbal, and they also appeared in the staff meetings, which were written down by my admin staff, who can back that up. But they were aired on public platforms such as Twitch and YouTube. That's a lie, because I only broke mentally down on Twitch and then said to my ex-girlfriend, you are doing more than my moderators. And that's what was said. You actually do more than my moderators. So I hadn't actually... I mean, this is a bit of a drama queen statement to say, but they were aired on public platforms such as Twitch and YouTube. Which, if I were a problem, could have been dealt with in a private conversation, so I feel. Well, guess what? I had many times. In private conversations, I had addressed all of what I felt like. Every time he'd done the invisible mode, I told him to stop, and he went, sorry, my bad. Whenever he broke the rules in terms of how he posted pictures, which I told him. But to be honest, I didn't harp on about it, because that's not a big thing, you know? I never really knuckled down on him for that, because at the end of the day, he's still posting pictures, but the way he was posting them was going against the rules, and then he had to enforce that to others so they would follow the rules. So it's kind of like two-faced, to break the rules and then try and enforce them itself. So honestly, but back to the comments about me performing as a moderator. There was a lot behind the scenes that you guys wouldn't have seen happening with channels, inputs and discussions. Yeah, that's right, because we had a staff meeting that was private to only the staff. And a lot of the newer content, not blowing my own trumpet, was input and suggested by me, which was the Flight Ops Center and the PC repair channels. That was it. He did not create or have any input for any other channels. Oh, and he brought the AV bot in as well. Hence, I have brought that with me here because it was my hard work. Now, actually, sorry, I've got to stop you there. The rules section I created, you didn't create that, and yet you've got that in your server. The way it's laid out, the welcome screen, the rules, everything that you've put in there, yeah, is exactly the way it was in my server. So you've actually copied my server, not your hard work, but my hard work. Thank you. Despite my feelings about the poor comments being made, I had no actual reason to sabotage his Discord, as I actually called him a friend. Well, I'm sorry to say this, but I don't stab my friends in the back. I support my friends. If my friends are having an emotional breakdown, I'm there for them. I help them. I do not shun them and then call, people like behind my back call me a twat, okay, to other people behind my back, because that's not what friends do. So if that's what you think a friend is, I don't want you as my friend. I showered him with helped build his Discord up, even sent him gifts for his flight sim setup, completely free of charge. So yeah, let's address these things. The throttles that I mentioned, he gave me, right? And he sent me because he wanted me to advertise these on my stream so I could sell them to my community, right? Is that being a friend? Is that being a nice guy? Or is that sort of doing something for your own benefit? Because I would say doing it for your own benefit. When he said helped build his Discord up, I don't recall him doing any advertising outside of my Discord, like share this guys to everywhere. Like I don't remember it, he never shared it anywhere. And I have like every time an invitation is created, which is the only way into a server, I have an audit log which tells me all the invites that were made. He made, in the total time he was in my server, one invite. One invite. So you shared the link to one person or one group or one entity only. Again, audit logs, they track and show every movement in a Discord. So you can't get away from them. They're black and white. You can't alter them. You can't change them to suit yourself, whatever. When he says I showered him with help, I mean, yeah, yes, Mr. Moderator, you did at first. I don't know why I'm calling him Moderator. You can see his name. I said, yes, but to be honest, you did at first. You really did. You did help me, and you were very supportive with me when I was doing the True Sky stuff. As soon as I stopped doing this True Sky stuff is when you stopped being supportive to me, is when you stopped helping me. There was a very clear time scale for when you stopped helping me, and it was when I said, this is the final version of True Sky. I'm very upset, by the way, okay? And for me, I just feel the need to inform everybody in his server what a liar that they are following, because my ex-girlfriend is so infatuated with him, she believes every word, and she won't even speak to me now. Stayed up most nights for the first 3 to 4 months, just chatting until 4 a.m. So why would a non-genuine friend do that? Well, I'll tell you why. Because you wanted to be my moderator. You wanted to come in and have a place of power in my Discord. You were jealous of what I had, and you wanted it for yourself. So that's why a non-genuine friend would do that. Oh, and another reason why I didn't sabotage his Discord is that I wouldn't risk losing my place or friends, like most of you in this server, that I had made in there separate from Adam. Right, so thank you for admitting that you had separated a bunch of people from me and had them as a separate friend, because that's what you've just stated. And also, you haven't lost anything, because all of these people that you say, are your friends, followed you into your server. So, and then stopped coming into my server. So you haven't lost anything. So that's, why would I sabotage his Discord? Well, you're not losing anything. So I don't think he sabotaged my Discord. I've actually never said that he sabotaged my Discord. I said that he's been lying to me to my face and snaking to people behind my back. I've never actually said he sabotaged. He was very active in my Discord. He was very enthusiastic. He helped create the flight. He created the flight ops center, the PC repair. He was a very... Listen, Ben, you were a very good person in my server. You were a positive influence, and everybody liked you. And they liked you so much that I guess they believed your bullshit when you started slagging me off, and they started to shun me away. So, in Discord, I've never stated that he tried to sabotage my Discord. I've never said that. So I don't know why he keeps going on about that. I absolutely never badmouthed him behind his back to anyone, but hey-ho, my word against his. Well, the people that you've badmouthed me to know that you've done this. So, hey-ho, their word as well against you. I know my ex-girlfriend did, because she told me. She came to me and told me about things that he'd said to her, and he said the exact same wording to her. So, he told me that maybe if she's that, volatile with you, maybe your time is just set, and this relationship is dead. Banner, move on. And, you know, she came to me with that exact same wording in one time. And so he had said that exact same thing to her. So upsetting, man. I absolutely never badmouthed him. So here we go. And as the famous one and the owner, what leg did I ever have to stand on? So, I mean, this here just shows you how jealous he is. When you highlight or quotation marks, famous one and the owner. First off, like, yes, I am the owner of that server, but the famous one. I mean, he is clearly a person who is jealous of the owner of a server. That's a little bit weird to put things in quotation like that, I feel. I personally feel that since his breakaway, there has been some sort of personal vendetta against me for reasons I genuinely cannot fathom. Sorry, why? Because when I was away, I never spoke to anybody except for my ex-girlfriend about me and her. I never spoke about anybody in my Discord. I didn't know half the stuff about this dude. So I never spoke to anybody. And when I came back, people asked me, after I'd banned him, what had happened. So even when I came back, I wasn't bad-mouthing him or anything. So this whole sentence is a total lie, okay? I am now a scapegoat for Adam's emotions and am being used as an excuse for him to lash out and blame someone other than himself. Dude, I'm sorry. It's not lashing out when you are punishing somebody for illegal activities they're doing in your server and when they're abusing your trust. That's not lashing out. That's handling the situation. So, dude, like, get over yourself and grow up. And that's like the meanest thing I've said, I think. I was hit with aggression with him on multiple occasions, one of which, now this is very interesting because the way he paints this, he makes me out to be a right monster, when in actual fact, there's a lot more to it that he's left out that is a little bit more understanding as to why I went in, and I didn't actually shout aggressively, but I did come in and like barge in and sort of make it an abrupt, like asked an abrupt question basically. So I'm just going to read it out and then I'll sort of give you what happened really, because this is a total diluted version of what actually happened, and it does actually surround my ex-girlfriend. I was hit with aggression from him on multiple occasions. Well, sorry, one occasion. One of which was after my mother-in-law had a stroke the same day, which has nothing to do with how I spoke to him, by the way. He's popping this in for sympathy. And my way of dealing with this was gaming and focusing on a game with Nib Nib. He came barreling in and started shouting aggressively at both of us. Bullshit. I was speaking to him only. I asked him a direct question, and I never shouted at her. Something I'm sure you all understand I really didn't need. I was also made to feel guilty for not having time for... Okay, I mean, this is actually going on to say something else about when I was going away and I was asking him for a 5-10 minute chat. You know, he basically wouldn't give me the time of day, but I never held it against him, you know. For not having the time for a half an hour FaceTime conversation. Well, actually, it was only like 10-15 minutes, mate. So, drama queen, which I knew would be at least double that in time. Let me explain what I mean. This goes on to say something else, to be honest, which I'll address that as well, okay? But the mother-in-law bit, right? So, me and my ex-girlfriend had been, you know, seeing each other back again, and she had turned to me and said, no, we're over. We're not like boyfriend and girlfriend. And that devastated me and really upset me. And I was really upset. And I had been messaging Ben, you know, privately in Discord and saying, you know, I can't believe, like, no, there's no reason for this. She's just literally turned round and said this with no provocation, you know, and he's been consoling me. We had like an hour's chat through Discord message, right? And I was like, dude, I really need to speak to you. Like, I wasn't in my server, by the way. I wasn't in my thingy, so I didn't know what he was doing or anything because I hadn't, you know, I wasn't in my server. I was on my private messages speaking with him. And I was like, dude, I really could do with speaking to you vocally, please. And he went, yeah, I'm just playing a game. I'll just finish it, right? And I was dead, like, I was like, dude, I really need to speak to you. Please, I need... And he was like, yeah, I'll just finish this game, please. And I'm like, what the fuck? So when I saw him that he was playing a game, and like I saw then in my Discord, I saw him in the voice channel with my ex-girlfriend, and I'm like, what? Are you serious? I have been sat here talking to you about how my ex-girlfriend has just broken off with me, that I'm mega upset, that I need to speak with you, and you're sat in a private channel with her, speaking with her, and you're saying, yeah, let me just finish playing this game. I'm like, so I went into the channel and went, dude, what the fuck? Are you serious? You want to finish your game after a friend is asking for your, And he went, right, awkward. I went, why? I'm like, I've been asking you to speak to you and you just want to finish a video game first. Like, what's going on here? And then she disconnected. And I'm like, what's going on? And he went, right. And then he told me about his mother-in-law stroke and that. And I went, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I did not know. Why didn't you tell me, actually, in message whilst you were consoling me? Why did you leave that information out? And then I come in going, what the fuck? And that's exactly what I said. What the fuck, Ben? Why you finished playing a game? What, are you serious? That's how I said it. So, like, if he should have really told me, like, well, I suppose he didn't have to, but it's like he had opportunity to really tell me. It's not like I knew the fact that his mother had a stroke and then went aggressively shouting at him, which is the way he said it in his chat. So he's, again, painting himself in a good light by leaving out some facts. I was mega upset. I wanted to speak to him. He was like, let me just finish my game first. And he was in a game with my ex-girlfriend, who, she was the one who had just dumped me. Again, they also have been having private conversations, So I don't know what degree she thinks she sees him at, So another thing here, he says 3 weeks ago my partner had a car crash. So again, this is what I didn't want to address before, but he's saying it now, so okay, it's out there. And although she wasn't badly injured, she was still injured somewhat, and with it being her first, she was petrified for driving for 2 weeks. Adam requested my presence in a private chat the week after, and when explaining Lauren had a car crash, I was just a tad busy. He used it against me when the ultimate ban came, saying I didn't have time for him. Well, bullshit, Ben. The reason you were banned because you lied to me about adding those roles and that you were deceiving me by using the invisible mode. That's why you were banned, okay? You weren't banned for avoiding me in a conversation. I never have ever said that. And I've never ever held it against you, the fact that you went to your girlfriend and consoled her over me. In fact, if I remember correctly, I'll just again bring up the conversation so I'm not paraphrasing it. And so you can see exactly what was said and how it was said, because honestly, he's trying to paint me out to be some sort of monstrous liar. And at the end of the day, I think it's not on. You shouldn't be doing this to people who are genuine, Ben. Okay? Because I'm a genuine person and I don't lie and I don't cherry coat things. Okay? But you're just throwing me under the bus. So I sent him this message, right? Hiya, Ben. How are you? This was on the 21st of May at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm sure you have many questions about what's been happening lately. I did try to explain it during our staff meeting, although I felt I did a shit job of it. Can you please meet with me in a voice chat sometime Monday? I know you have the weekend with Lauren most weekends. It would only need to be a 15 to 20 minute call. Facebook audio is fine, because I wasn't in my server by this time. This is when I left my server because I was going away. And he came back to me 6 hours later, right, to say, yep, can we do it in the week? I've just collected Lauren from a car crash after she left work. And I went, oh my gosh, is she okay? If you need someone to talk to, I am here for you, bud. And he came back with, literally just got off Discord and Lauren phoned me to say she'd been in a car crash after leaving work. Fuck. Scared the life out of me. Just got home. She's got some bruising on her neck, but she'll be okay and the car's repairable. And I went, phew, I'm glad she's going to be good. And I put a heart on it. Don't worry about texting me now, then go be with Lauren, bro. Show her all your love, bud. I'm free next Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for a quick 15-20 minute chat. Let me know when you can, but don't think about it now. No worries. All my best to Lauren. Another 3 hearts. And he came back with, okay, I'll let you know when I can. She might have a few days off work, so I'll find out what's happening and let you know when I'm free. I'll pass that on. And I replied back with, just no, I'm still here, bud, to chat to on here, or game against on the evenings for a distraction. Brothers for life if you need it, right? Now, I also came back to him like 2 days later to say, hiya, how's everything going? How's Lauren? Just as a quick update, recent changes. Today, the 24th of May, and tomorrow are my only free days for that chat this week until next week. And I really wanted to chat with him before I went away. Now, that was the 24th of May. He didn't even look at my message. And on the 26th of May, I was getting ready to go away, and I messaged my admin dude, and I messaged my ex-girlfriend, and I messaged my other moderator to sort of tell him, like, you know, I've got to go to a clinic. Now, I didn't actually say this to my ex-girlfriend because she didn't need to know that information, but the staff members Discord did. And so I basically told them that I'm going to be going away the very next day, and so, you know, you're not going to be able to reach me. Now, on the 26th of May at 6 o'clock, he did come back to me 2 days after I sent that message, right? The only reason he came back to me, okay, the 26th of May, I think, is a Monday. No, it must have been a Wednesday, sorry. So on the Wednesday, he came back to me only because, again, I'm not in my Discord. He's keeping people up to date in my Discord about his girlfriend's, you know, what you call it, status condition, you know, posting pictures and saying she's okay. I don't know because I'm not in my Discord. And because he hasn't looked at my message and I'm in a depressive state, I'm overthinking, thinking that she's actually been rushed to hospital or something, or it's escalated into something far worse than it actually is. And I'm like frantic. So I messaged his girlfriend to say, are you okay? Ben hasn't, you know, updated me or got back to me about your car crash. I'm so sorry. Are you okay? And she went, yeah, I'm fine. No worries. That's when he got back to me. Sorry, dude, I've been so stressed and busy with Lauren and the garage and keeping on top of your Discord in your absence. It's just been one of those weeks. Been at Lauren since Friday, helping her, and she's struggling to move. Now, he goes on to sort of say what he's been doing about phoning insurance things and sort of running errands for her. Like, that's private stuff. I'm not really going to get into that bit. And he says she's even scared to get into a car, let alone, let alone her own at the moment. So it's not a good time right now. I apologize for not getting back to you quickly, but I hope you understand it's been a wanky week. Not forgetting about all the COVID scare. And I'm back at Lauren's tomorrow. And then he goes on to say that he's doing a wedding shoot and da-da-da-da. He said, I've literally had no free time to myself this week except tonight. So I said, dude, whoa, that's a lot of information there. I'm so glad Lauren's okay. I've been... Oh, I just put I've been. That's weird. Is it okay to have a quick 15 to 20 minute can't connect? I mean, I did put I've been worried, but the worried bit has gone for some reason. I don't know why. Is it okay to have a quick 15 to 20 minute connect on Facebook voice, please? He responded back, I'm just in the middle of dinner. Give me half an hour or so. I went, no worries, bud. It looks yummy, because he sent me a picture. Enjoy and speak soon. Now, he never came back to me after that 30 minutes. He'd left me hanging. Like, never came back to me. I was waiting at my PC for 6 hours till 1 o'clock in the morning. I was going away the next day. I wanted to speak with him so I could tell him and update him. He never gave me the time of day. Okay? So when you say this, he used it against me when the ultimate ban came. That's bullshit, Ben. I never, ever banned you for not getting back to me. I mean, I banned you for the deceitful things you were doing in my Discord, not for what you were doing to me in real life, which, by the way, was also shitty. But at the same time, you've had shit going on as well, so understandable, you know? So let's get back to this. He says, I joined a server a whole 10 months ago. I've not only been hugely welcoming to you all, I think, and tried to help you where I could, flew with a few of you, and just generally had a good old chat with some of you for a stupid amount of time. So if anyone has any doubts about me or otherwise, just know that what you've seen of me and gotten to know yourselves is the real genuine me. Yeah, but what you don't see of him is also the genuine him, because he does things behind his back, people's backs. He will admit this later on in this very chat here. Okay. I am your friend if you return it. I will help you all if I can with various things, because I like to see you all happy and enjoying whatever you might be doing. I will chat with you all because I just like getting on with different people from different walks of life, all with common interests of aviation. Yeah, if anybody likes trains, though, he'll slag you off behind your back, which he has done. And in my apparent breaking of his rules, there were two things. Firstly, posting a picture with the text explaining it as a separate string, not physically linked to the photo, was not only inviting conversation, but also breaking the rules. Well, Ben, I'm very sorry, but the rules in a picture-only channel stated that if you wanted to put text, it must be linked to the picture when you post it, not as a separate element afterwards. And that is because I did not want conversation in a picture-only channel. Okay, so when you say it's inviting conversation, it's breaking the rules. So you're actually admitting that you're breaking my rules. Thank you, Ben. When it specifically said on his Autobot, please only comment text that relates to the pictures posted, exactly what I did, but it was a separate piece of text string. I felt that it was petty, but that's my opinion. Well, in somebody else's server, Ben, you must respect their rules. I know you're only young, but still, you must respect their rules. Something that seemed people weren't entitled to. Sorry? An opinion? Anybody has an opinion. Anybody can tell me what they think. Everybody tells me what they think of me all the time. You know, I don't stop people from having an opinion. Even his unpaid and unrewarded staff. Whoa, sorry, what? Is somebody getting paid? Because that kind of suggests that there are unpaid and there are paid people in my server. But anything to do with Discord, no one's getting any money for it, even me. I don't benefit, there's no one getting paid. So his unpaid and unrewarded staff, that's just a very childish comment, because we all do this voluntary, guys. I mean, that's a little bit... I didn't do this to get anything back physically, except for money for the throttles that you wanted to sell on my stream. I volunteered my time around my own busy life to help Adam and you guys, and that's exactly correct. That is a truthful statement right there. He volunteered his time around his own busy life to help him. That's true. Secondly, using the invisible mode, that is a Discord feature, not server specific, that I use often. Thank you for owning up to the fact that you used the invisible mode, Ben, you know, and you used it in my server, which was a bannable offense because I find it so creepy, which my ex-girlfriend, when she thought I was doing it, had a right go at me for. So I wonder how the moderator feels in his server about using it now. I wonder if she's changed her tune, because she had a vicious attack on me when she thought I was doing it. Unbelievable, really. This whole thing is just unbelievable. That I use often so as to not show online in other servers I've been banned from. Not show online in other servers was banned from use in his server. Yes, it was banned. Why would anybody want to deceive a community and not show us online when you are? I just don't get it. It's creepy. I didn't agree with him banning use of this in the beginning, nor did I feel I could completely actually enforce it. You can't show online in one server or offline in another separately. Do you know what? That's a feature Discord really could do with. Like, if you want to show online but not show online in other servers, again, it's a little bit weird and creepy, but surely that is a feature Discord could bring in to help that, you know? But at the end of the day, if you're online, if you're using Discord, this is how I feel about this invisible mode. Why don't you want to show online when you're online? Are you avoiding people? Is it because you don't want people to directly message you? Well, then you can actually block people from directly messaging you. Or tell them, please don't message me. Or put yourself in the do not disturb mode. People then, it's up to them not to message you if you put yourself in do not disturb. So I don't get the invisible mode. I don't get why it's needed, to be honest. It's really, I guess, for trolls, isn't it? I don't know. I don't get it. Therefore, I continue to use something I felt was my right to use as a Discord user. So you continue to break the rules in an owner's server because you decided that it was good, that it was a feature you should be using. But hey-ho again, that was breaking his, I personally feel, relatively petty rules. Wow. That is such a childish statement to make. His relatively petty rules. That is so disrespectful to the server that you're moderating. If you don't believe in their rules, Ben, why do you moderate that server? Why don't you just leave if you think his rules are petty, okay, and you don't want to enforce them? Why are you in the server? Why don't you just leave? Like, that is so childish. Seriously. With his rules and expectations of me as a moderator, even with my own life and not being able to dedicate 100% time all the time, who has? Who has that? Nobody does. Nobody does this. So why he's bringing it up, I don't know. Or be available at the drop of a hat, which I never expected him to be at the drop of a hat. If I saw him online, I would go and speak to him, but I never expected him to, oi, get from your real life and come speak to me in the virtual. Never did that. I felt I was being more regimented in that server than I was in my years in the Royal Navy, and that was work. This was a hobby. Dude, what kind of defense system do we have if your only responsibility is making sure people don't break the rules in Discord? Like, there's not that many rules, seriously. And they're standard rules for most servers. Like, why you're bitching about this and trying to make it sound like it was a proper chore, I do not know, because the other moderator had no problem doing this and never bitch-whinged about it. So I ask you please to make up your own judgments of me, not what you may have heard. Well, I go by the truth, so there. And yet I know for a fact I've been publicly shamed, humiliated, and kicked to the curb by him in his own server. No, actually, this is the first time I've aired publicly what had happened. So, again, another lie. Which I have not done here or privately or anywhere for that matter. Bullshit, because you've been speaking in private to a lot of people, and I know my ex-girlfriend is one of them. Because she knows about everything, and I've not been able to say anything because she doesn't want to know me, because he's already told her his version. So he's completely lied there. For that matter, up until explaining the situation now. So basically, his own moderator knows he's lying to his community, but she's that infatuated with him, she probably doesn't care. Although I haven't said anything nasty. Shit. Do you know what? I'm just going to read out his message because this is bringing my piss to a boil now. Seriously, I've not said anything nasty. Okay, let's see here. Adam, I shall send this in both Discord and Messenger to see if you even have the dignity to read and response. So here goes. You actually banned me. You haven't even given me the dignity to respond to my private messages afterwards either. Even though you were online till 1:30 AM. Utter joke you are, if you ask me. Yeah, you're not being nasty at all, are you, Ben? Now I know the following message will be twisted, manipulated, bent, and probably aired to show you're the good guy in this. But to be honest, I'm not fussed. Really? Because you're actually looking like you are right now here, Ben. You twist everything everyone has ever said to you. You talk in riddles all the time, expecting them to either work it out, when half the time it doesn't even make any logical sense anyways. Do I? I talk in riddles? Am I the Riddler or something? I don't know. Or expect them to read between the lines, and you use ... after every sentence just like a full stop. Yep, so what? Sorry, what's wrong with me using ... Like, that's just attacking the way I decide to format my sentences. That's just a dickhead. And you use someone's own trust against them. Trust goes both ways, and you've abused mine by doing that last night. Sorry. I banned you for lying to me and for abusing your power in my server. So, trust. You have actually abused my trust, dude. So, like, get over it, man. The Discord of yours has been hugely growing since I arrived, and you know it. Wow. This dude has got some sort of god complex. His actually was growing before he arrived. It actually grew in October, and I met him in December, so it was on the rise anyway. It didn't blow up because of him. He thinks it has. It blew up because of my True Sky efforts. He thinks it's all about him. The various input and content creation in there that I've done, I bet you'll keep that and brand it as your own idea anyway. Actually, mate, I deleted it once I banned you, so because it wasn't my content. The engagement with people, the constant nudging people to follow the rules correctly and correcting their mistakes, advertising the invite link on my Twitch. Oh yeah, that's the one invite that he did, the one that I mentioned. He put it on his Twitch page. So anybody who watched his channel, which was the people in my Discord, so he's advertising to my own Discord, I mean, and various other platforms. I mean, he could have taken the same link actually and posted it, somewhere else, but at the end of the day, there was only ever one invite link from his name created, so You said I started off talking with you till 4 a.m. For a week or two. Frankly, that's a lie because it was a couple of months. Actually, Ben, it was 1 week, and then I gave you the moderator role. So that's how it serves my memory. But like in terms of us staying up till 4 a.m., yeah, that happened for months afterwards. But for you to hound me for the moderator role took a week. So, but yeah, I stopped. Why? Because that night you were aggressive towards me and your ex-girlfriend was in the channel was a pivotal moment. I did nothing to deserve it. Maybe so, but I was upset. Your friend was upset and was asking for your help and to speak with you, you know? And you basically went, yeah, after I finish this game, mate. So somebody who's upset is just going to get even more upset if you're not there for them, okay? He said, I had been helping you privately with your ex-girlfriend and got half-assed sorry. Yeah, I actually apologized once he told me about his mother-in-law, you know? So it wasn't a half-assed sorry. I was actually really upset because, you know, he's going through shit and it made me realize that, oh shit, yeah. But at the end of the day, what I did was get upset because my friend wasn't there for me, but he was there for my ex-girlfriend. And he's admitted now to speaking to her in private, so... which goes against what he said here when he says, which I have not done here or privately or anywhere for that matter. But also unlike you, I mean, anyway, he goes on to just continually rip into me, and it's a very long message. I'm not going to actually air all of it because it's, you know, it's boring, to be honest. So just my side of the truth, just your side. And asking that you all just give a chance to prove what you may have heard is in no way the real Ben. Yeah, the real Ben does things behind your back. That's the real Ben. Something I'm willing to prove, clear my name out in the mud. Well, again, I never put your name in the mud until now, so I don't know what he's bitching about there. I didn't force any of you here. No one ever said you did. You all came here on your own accord, and I appreciate you sticking by me, and this is the dude that he stabbed in the back. As such, on our own new adventure, assisted mostly by his ex-girlfriend as well. As said before to existing members of this server and reinforced to new members, neither myself or any other staff in this Discord will be enforcing hugely regimented and strict rules. The rules section are a carbon copy of mine. So, have fun and be sensible, be cautious, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's it. And then he says, I believe Adam has deleted his server, firstly, unbeknown to me. Yeah, I didn't tell anybody I deleted it. I just deleted it. However, now confirmed by you lovely lot. A genuine shame, but it doesn't pad a good light on someone so innocent, trustworthy, and loving towards his community members who were now left in the dark without even being told. So let's talk about that sentence, Ben, because you're absolutely right. I need to address this. So, when I deleted my server, I had 700 plus members in that server, and there was about 25 of those that were the core members who were always engaging, always talking, you know. The rest of them pretty much just came for the free stuff that I gave out, which I will continue to do that till the day I die. Because that's the type of guy I am. So the 25 core lot really is my server, because the rest are just, they haven't been bothered to leave. They get kicked and purged anyway, which we were on the verge of doing. So we would have probably lost about 300 of those members, leaving the server with about 350 members. 25 of which were regulars. It was these regulars that he invited to his server, and then they never, only about 4 of them came back to my server. And the only reason they came back to my server is because he hadn't set up voice channels in his server. They needed somewhere to meet. So they came and sat with me in the channel. Not because they wanted to talk to me, because they like, well, yeah, they did actually. So, but it was more because they needed a voice channel, because he hadn't set one up yet. As soon as the voice channel was set up, never saw him again. And it was only like my ex-girlfriend coming in and chatting with me, as well as the other people, like keeping it, you know. But she was, if you ever are in his server, you'll see that she has way more fun, or she was having way more fun in that server than she was in mine. Mine just basically became a ghost town. Nobody came back to mine. I don't know what message he'd sent. No one has ever shared with me what he said to the people to invite them over. And, you know, it would be interesting to see what was the message that was sent to invite these people over. But yeah, I deleted my server because basically everybody deserted me when he left, when I banned somebody who was being deceptive in my own server. Coupled with the fact that I was asking my girlfriend or my ex-girlfriend to leave my server because I was heartbroken, and the fact that she wasn't coming back to me in private message, like there was no like she didn't want contact with me at all. So I was like, well, can you please leave my server then? And she wouldn't. And I'm facing the streets, and I'm like, do you know what? This is a virtual space, and I've got more precedent shit going on in my life. I haven't got time for this. Nobody's here. There's only one person who it would affect because they were actively in my server, not for flight simulation. And so I deleted my server and contacted that one person. And this is the entire reason why the server got deleted. But I have since created a new server to host the files that people still need, and a place where people can still get help for their flight sim, because I haven't turned my back on the community that turned its back on me. I continue to be there for people that need me. I will continue to be there for people who need that help with their flight sim and need the files for the things that in the videos that I've stated as well. So, I mean, in all honesty, this is the kind of community here. He says here, you're all entitled to your own opinions and thoughts, but I ask you to respect the situation and be gentle in your responses, whether about me or Adam. That's very nice, Ben. Thank you. But the very first comment is, oh, we're not allowed to swear on here, but he is a selfish little brat. That's not really respectful, is it? I mean, at the end of the day, these guys in this server have been making fun of me behind my back the entire time. Like, people send me screenshots of what is said. He's called me a twat in his own server and put his status to say the word cunt in phonetics, and people have laughed and gone brilliant. And if you watch his streams, he makes continual digs at me, right, with his members of his server. It's basically a child's server, you know, and it's not the community that I wanted to grow, the one that cared about each other, not the one that turned its back on everybody. I kicked out somebody who was deceiving and lying. Okay, he then contacted everybody and they followed him to his server. That's not my community then. And so that's why I deleted my server. I have been going through so much shit in my personal life. I haven't got time for petty bullshit in the virtual space. And if my girlfriend or my ex-girlfriend, after 3.5 years of knowing me, 2 years of loving me, wanting, and if you watch our streams that we've done together, you'll see like exactly what kind of love there is there. And if she's willing to turn her back on me for this person who she's only met 3 months ago, then that says more about how she actually cares for me and how she actually sees me than anything else. And for that, it's like, wow. At the end of the day, I love her. She's always in my heart. She was my queen. And that will be that until the day I die, because that's the type of person I am. I am not filled with hatred. I don't go attacking people and shaming. Like, yes, this video is probably going to get attacked by his community and going, this is really shitty behavior. You shouldn't be doing this. You're airing people's dirty laundry. Da, da, da. At the end of the day, people need to know he is a liar, that he is deceitful, and that he actually, do you know what? What was that final sentence I didn't actually say? There was one last sentence here. He says here, that proves that he likes to chat in private message with everybody. If anyone wishes to speak further about this, then my private message box is always open. I.e., let's start some private messages conversations up behind people's backs. Because that's what he does. He creates private messagings behind people's backs against them. And that's what he did with my ex-girlfriend, and what he did with other people. And those people who had these conversations with him, who are most likely in a server, will know what type of person he is when he states that he doesn't do that. They'll know because they've had those conversations with him. Anyway, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go. I've probably got to start packing my things actually. So now, at the end of the day, what when you boil this all down to, you know, I had a community that I thought respected me and that I thought, you know, was telling me the truth when, you know, we were chatting and everybody was having fun, and slowly over the course of a few months, because of various different factors, I had emotional, mental, nervous breakdown, you know, and it happened live on stream because of what people I suspected, like, or not I suspected, sorry, because I didn't know, but what people were doing to around me, what, you know, what I was seeing and witnessing, and it was affecting me. And instead of, you know, people coming to me and going, dude, what's wrong, you know, and instead of people showing reassurance or care for me, they were too busy conspiring against me to take what I'd created, you know, and to steal against me and to do things for their own good, and then try and lie about it and say that I'm the paranoid one, and that, you know, I'm the one who's thinking everyone's against him, and that no one's talking about me behind my back, when his message, you know, and what they've told me since has clearly proved that. I was in a low point of my life, and I was in a conflict with my ex-girlfriend who, you know, of course I'd upset, you know, these three people on stream, but I was going through a nervous mental breakdown, and I was very ill. And instead of supporting me, instead of helping me, they were too busy kicking me down further, and then, you know, creating like a group of people behind my back who now don't even speak to me, except for like 2 or 3 people. And that to me is very sad, you know. In fact, the 2 moderators are like calling me a liar. I don't know what they're accusing me of, because I've asked them, what lies am I telling? Because I'm not telling any lies. Bring me proof and tell me what I'm supposed to be lying about. You know, otherwise just leave me alone. They have not come to me with anything. They have not brought any proof of any lies, or they have not even stated what lies. You know, they just call me a liar. And I'm like, well, what lies am I supposed to have done? I'm calling him, the one moderator, a liar and a deceiver and a conspirer against me from other people, you know. And so far, I know 4 people who he's conspired against me with, you know. They've, like, 2 of them, which obviously he's, you know, kind of announced in his conversations to me and his community, but 2 other people who have also come to me and explained. And so at the end of the day, I'm done with them. That's it. You know, that server that they've created is called Fake Pilots, and that's because they're fake people. And, you know, the only reason I'm doing this video is because people need to know the truth instead of learning lies. I don't lie. I never have. And so, you know, I'm an open, transparent book. Ask me anything and I'll tell you. Unless somebody has specifically told me not to in confidence, then I won't. Listen, for as long as I can, I will be in my new Discord. The link is down below. Anybody is welcome, or anybody who wants to join for an honest reason is welcome. Anybody in his server is not welcome, because you guys deserted me. And you made that clear. Now, there are a couple of exceptions, and you know who you are, and I have allowed for that. So feel free to join. But if you're joining to snoop or spy, you're not welcome. I have lost a lot of people I thought were my friend, or who I thought even cared for me. Turns out they were just using me. And it's very hurtful, because I've only been there to help people. And I'll continue to do that, because that's the kind of person I am. Guys, thank you so much for watching this. And if the videos stop, by the way, it's because I haven't got the ability to upload them. You know, there is no internet. Like, you know, I haven't got. If I can't have a PC, I can't make the videos, and I can't upload them. So if the videos stop, you guys know why. Okay. Take care. Bye.